Now, Louise just alluded to it, Samara, but a bit more this week on the attempts to mend the royal rift. What's the update and what are the sticking points?
They were the fairy tale couple who broke all the rules. A British prince born into centuries of tradition, and an American actress raised far from the shadows of a palace. Together, they stepped onto the global stage not just as husband and wife, but as revolutionaries in royal robes. This is the story of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, a tale of love, freedom, and fierce controversy. Prince Henry Charles Albert David, better known to the world as Prince Harry.
King Charles is cautious and wary of Prince Harry's attempts to reconcile. Now, I don't blame the king. I mean, that's a nice way of putting it, for the hell.
Was born on September 15, 1984, the second son of Prince Charles and Princess Diana. From the moment he was born, he was called the Spare, the younger brother of the future king, Prince William. A life already written in the pages of history. But behind the royal title was a child grappling with tragedy. In 1997, at just 12 years old, Harry walked behind his mother's coffin in front of millions. Princess Diana's death in a car crash, while fleeing paparazzi, shattered his world. In interviews years later, Harry would reveal the depth of his pain. He buried his grief. He acted out. He wore Nazi costumes, partied in Las Vegas, and made headlines as the Wild Child of Windsor. But his military service gave him structure.
Invited the king to the 2027 Invictus Games, but the monarch still really does remain skeptical of his motives, and I can only imagine why. I mean, this can't...
Harry served 2 tours in Afghanistan, earning respect beyond his royal blood. He became a champion for veterans, launching the Invictus Games, showing the world that he was more than a headline. Still, something was missing. On the other side of the world, Rachel Meghan Markle was born on August 4, 1981, in Los Angeles, California. Her mother, Doria Ragland, was a yoga instructor and social worker. Her father, Thomas Markle, worked in television lighting. Meghan was biracial, a girl who grew up navigating identity, racism.
Harry, and he's coming back cup in hand to the king and wanting reconciliation. And as Dickie Arbiter said, who was the former press secretary of Queen Elizabeth II, he said Harry needs to actually apologize before he can even think of
an ambition in a world that often made her feel like she didn't belong. She studied theater and international relations, worked at a U.S. embassy, and climbed the ranks in Hollywood. But fame didn't come easy. After years of small roles, Meghan found success playing Rachel Zane in the legal drama Suits. She also became known for her humanitarian work, supporting gender equality, clean water, and global education initiatives. She was outspoken, articulate, and passionate, but she never imagined that her life would collide with royalty. In 2016, a mutual friend set them up on a blind date in London.
An apology. And I don't think that Harry, with his victim complex, is going to come out with one anytime soon.
Well, you think that would be the first port of call, and on that, Louise, like Samara said, there is news this week that it looks like the suspect.
Harry said he knew right away this was different. Meghan admitted she had only asked one question. Is he nice? Their connection was instant. But their relationship became public and controversial overnight. The British tabloids erupted. Meghan was American, divorced, biracial, an actress. The press tore her apart, with headlines laced with racism, sexism, and cruel insinuation. Prince Harry issued a rare public statement condemning the harassment. He was falling in love and already fighting to protect her.
Is not going to be renewed. So what do we know in and around that? Is that actually confirmed? Are you surprised? But again, the way that feeds back into Harry's relationship with the royal family on the other side of the pond.
On May 19, 2018, Harry and Meghan married at St. George's Chapel, Windsor Castle. The world watched in awe. It was a wedding that blended British tradition with black culture, a gospel choir, a sermon by an American bishop, and the world's most famous family sitting in the front row. Meghan wore a Givenchy gown. Harry wore his military uniform. And Diana's presence was felt in every moment. They became the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. But behind the scenes, tensions were growing. Aoife inside the royal family wasn't the fairy tale Meghan imagined.
That's right. So, yes, by September, that $100 million deal is no more. It will expire. It will not be renewed. And it's no surprise because the value of Meghan and Harry is their proximity to the royal family. And once they'd exhausted that
She claimed she was silenced, isolated, and unsupported, especially during her pregnancy with their first child, Archie. In 2019, Meghan told ITV, "Not many people have asked if I'm okay." Mental health struggles, racist tabloid attacks, royal protocol. The pressure was suffocating. And in March 2020, the couple announced they were stepping back from royal duties, a decision that shocked the world. It was the first time in modern history that senior royals had walked away by choice. The couple moved to North America
to the royal family. And once they'd exhausted that tell-all whinge fest, the global whinge fest they were on, their value plummeted. Although I think Netflix obviously played their cards well by getting to do that original series, which broke all streaming records.
First to Canada, then settled in Montecito, California. They launched Archwell, their foundation focused on mental health, equality, and storytelling. They signed multi-million-dollar deals with Netflix and Spotify, aiming to tell stories that matter. In July 2020, Meghan suffered a miscarriage, later writing about it in a New York Times essay. In June 2021, they welcomed their daughter, Lilibet Diana, named in honor of both Queen Elizabeth and Princess Diana. Far from the palace, they were building a new life. But the past wasn't done with them. In March 2021, the couple sat down with Oprah Winfrey.
But they were foolish to allow the two of them to then do their own series, which of course has not really played out well, of course, particularly Harry's Polo series, which I believe saw viewing figures of about 500,000 people, which is absolutely appalling. Now,
for a tell-all interview that shook the monarchy, Meghan revealed she had contemplated suicide during her time in the palace. She claimed a royal family member had made comments about her son's skin tone. Harry said his father, then Prince Charles, had stopped taking his calls. It was raw, emotional, explosive. The palace responded with a cold statement. Recollections may vary, but the damage was done. A royal feud had gone public like never before. In 2023, Harry published Spare, a brutally honest memoir. He wrote about therapy, PTSD, drug use, and his mother's death. He claimed Prince William physically attacked him during an argument about Meghan. He described growing up in a world where emotions were forbidden and pain was inherited. The book broke records and royal silence. Some praised Harry for his vulnerability. Others called it betrayal. But Harry insisted, "I'm telling my truth." Today, Harry and Meghan are symbols of change and controversy. They've been praised for speaking out about racism, mental health, and toxic media. But they've also been criticized for hypocrisy, profiting off royal fame while rejecting the institution. In 2024, Spotify ended their partnership and their Netflix project slowed. Public support has shifted, some seeing them as victims, others as opportunists. But love them or hate them, no one can ignore them. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle redefined what it means to be royal. They showed that love can break barriers, but also break tradition. They gave up crowns to protect peace. They left the most powerful family in Britain to build one of their own. And while the cameras may fade, the impact of their choices will echo through royal history for generations. Because in the end, this isn't just the story of a prince and a Hollywood actress. It's the story of two people who chose truth over tradition and love over legacy.